this episode of Ruff Talk VR. It's Monday, so we're joining you for another edition of VR News of the Week.
Some sort of news.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. This past week, just to start it off last Monday, they announced June 1st, there's a MetaQuest gaming showcase coming June 1st.
Yeah, we knew it was coming. I just didn't know the exact date, but we knew there was definitely one coming.
Yeah, so it was like
wasn't earth-shattering.
But what I'm getting at is like we drop our news episode last Monday, and the day we drop our news episode, huge news comes out. The meta, like you said, we've been anticipating it. You've been seeing posts about it on Facebook groups, on subreddits. Everybody's like, "Hey, is there a gaming showcase this year?" There's usually one around this time, and then boom, fresh to start the week. Meta's like, "Yep, June 1st," and dude, who knows what's coming this year?
I was just gonna say that it's like everything from them saying that is now all speculative of what people want to hear, wish they'd hear, want to confirm things they'll hear.
Yeah, so the speculation's already started. Usually these things we see a mix of new games announced that we haven't heard about yet, with way far out releases, and then there's also some sprinkled in like release dates for some games that we already knew about. Now they're now coming soon, and then also they usually sprinkle in one or two games that we heard nothing about and are coming out in a week or two. There's usually one or two of those.
Sometimes there's even good stuff to happen the day after.
Yeah.
So I mean, but again, it's like everything that comes out of our pie holes will be total speculation. I've heard other people discussing what they think or.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be any hardware announcements. I think that'll come later this year, closer to October.
See, I'm actually gonna go. I'll go because I've heard that's like the consensus. There won't be any talk about Quest 3, but in my head, I'm picturing some sort of little advert, like
maybe
a little teaser
Well,
teaser advert.
Didn't they? I feel like before the Pro was officially announced, remember Zuckerberg put out that video of like him wearing a blurred one, and it was like censored out. It was weird. It was like a pixelated headset.
I wouldn't be shocked if there was some sort of. I'm not saying a whole, 3 minutes dedicated, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm on the fence on that one because I'm the only one I know saying that.
Well, I'll concede that. Look, I don't think there's going to be an announcement. I don't think that there's going to be a release date, price announcement, anything. But I think I wouldn't be surprised if there was a teaser. Some like hidden little
that's what I'm betting
sprinkle, like a little that's possible.
Something to feed you that something better is coming.
Yeah,
something's gonna happen. Like even if it's a countdown timer, that's gonna speak. Volume,
I wouldn't be surprised if this showcase ended with them going, "Stay tuned for our next one in September, where we announce hardware." I wouldn't even be surprised if they were that direct.
We'll see.
But I think this one will be mostly software based. But again, what excites me, exactly what I just said, is the mix of, it's going to be things coming soon, things that we've already heard about, and things right around the corner. So I love these. And I think the big one besides hardware speculation that I've heard so many people say, including us, is GTA. Are we getting San Andreas news?
Yeah, I don't think we're going to.
Because, it was probably like 2 years ago. It was at a gaming showcase that they originally announced that the game was in development, and then there has not been a single update since.
Well, dude, I went deep because I'm like, somebody has to know something. There's no way that...
Typically with Rockstar, they don't.
No. I mean, well, the reality is no.
It's all speculation.
I went as deep as I could go and couldn't find anything concrete. Stumbled on some shit that seemed like it could be from a reliable source to be like, okay, that's the most believable, but it's as believable.
In the end, it's speculation and theories as much as anything.
Here's what I've come up with.
This is your theory?
Oh, it's terrible too. It's like, it's so lame.
Let's hear it.
Either it's not going to happen,
which is
I'm going to throw in a third potential that's just out there.
I was just going to say 30%.
No, I'll throw a Hail Mary pass at the end with what would be an awesome way if it played out, but I don't know. So either they've killed it altogether and nobody's talking. And of course, they're not going to go on a showcase and be like, "Oh, and by the way, you're not getting GTA, but get ready for what's coming soon." It's just not going to work. So we're not going to get an announcement if it's killed. I heard there's like literally a team of 11 that are working on the whole game.
Oh, that seems very small.
Well, that's pretty much what was, and I don't even know
But
if
that would be a
I
rumor.
can't even
That would
say
be a
that.
rumor.
Well, exactly.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't confirm or deny it. So, but if one's like, okay, if that is the true facts, then it's kind of making sense. But people are, doing the math and going, well, a year ago, even if it was 11 people, they were working on this game, and now it's a year later.
Well, and it was
So it should technically kind of be done. So here's my Hail Mary pass. If it's really 11 people, then why is it still taking over 2 years? But what if it came out the day after the showcase?
well, I think it's going to be one of those things that the reason.
Which, again, I'm not the guy to listen to on either one of these two topics that came out of my mouth, because they're both like totally out there. But
because
it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility for Rockstar to be like,
I think that's the marketing plan that they really want to accomplish with this.
they need something big. Yeah.
Because on the other side, even if it's still a year away, they could be dropping updates, or like example, the Ghostbusters VR, they have social media pages.
Mm-hmm.
They don't update it
They
a
got that
bunch, but
Ghostbuster money.
they're starting to already build the marketing foundation for it. So when the game's ready, it's boom, it's there. There's nothing.
Well,
But that's how Rockstar always does it.
I mean, even for what's going to be their biggest game ever as far as sales go, the new GTA coming out for soon to a platform near you in non-VR. They don't have to. That's the thing. They could just be like, hey.
And we talk about it all the time. Meta likes that marketing strategy too, it seems, of announce and release. Yeah.
Jump scare marketing.
Yeah.
Because that's really what it is. It's like it's happened to us in VR where something's coming out literally in like 24 hours out of nowhere.
I still think it would have been
running and pre-ordering.
While I like San Andreas more than Vice City, I think Vice City would have been a less ambitious one to have done.
You know what's funny? In people not in VR who I've been talking to about GTA in VR, a lot of them are like, I wish they would have chosen Vice City. And then I'm like, shit, that's like somebody who's not in VR who's already made it clear if they did Vice City,
yeah,
they probably would have.
Well, I liked San Andreas more, but the only reason I say that is because like San Andreas, you had the stats for CJ,
yeah,
and then you could swim, and there was just overall a little bit more in depth with the flying. I just feel like it's more mechanics to chop off, whereas like maybe do Vice City first, and then years later do San Andreas.
It was an ambitious project when it was announced, and I'm just throwing whatever out there.
Speculation, yeah.
But it's all speculative. Do I, would I be surprised if we hear nothing? Of course, not surprised. I would not be surprised at all.
No, not one bit.
But would I be not surprised if they released it the day after the showcase? No, I would not be surprised.
Yeah, but either way, I think we're getting good stuff. It's just whether or not it is.
I have no clue.
GTA San Andreas.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope they don't touch base on games they've already talked about. So even if it's Ghostbusters, I don't want to hear them tell me it's coming out. I want to hear Ghostbusters come out. So,
and I mean, don't forget one of these showcases too. This is when they announced Blade and Sorcery Nomad, and then like 2 weeks later, it was coming out. Nobody. I mean, back then that was one of those cases where people were like, "This game can't come out on the Quest."
Dude, Blade and Sorcery's crushing it,
and
they're crushing it.
Yeah. We should start to do something where every week we read the top 10 top selling and top rated, because notably Blade and Sorcery Nomad was #1 this week.
Yeah. It also showed up in most played.
But here's the thing about the teaser that they did for the Quest showcase for June 1st. One of the studios that they picked up, they made a game called Asgard's Wrath, which is one of the most popular PC VR games. It's considered one of the best ones, up there with Half-Life Alyx, but it's PC VR. And it's owned by Meta. And at the end of the trailer, there was a helmet in the sand shown that is very reminiscent of helmets in that game. And people are speculating, is there gonna be an Asgard's Wrath port? They also trademarked a term in relationship to it was like World of Wraiths or something like that.
Okay.
So people are like, well, maybe it's not a port, maybe it's like a sequel spin-off.
Its own thing. I've heard people want both.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, it's
like if it's just
either
a port,
yeah,
people
I'm
are going to
happy.
be stoked, and if its own thing, then
Mhm.
people are going to be stoked. So it's a win-win. But I agree. That's probably from what's been shown. That
Yeah.
seems to make sense.
I had to at least bring it up because it was like the obvious one to a lot of people. But, also if you've never played that series on PC VR, you're not going to know what that little teaser was. But it seems like we're getting something in that universe. Like you said, spin-off, port, either way, I think people are going to be happy.
Yeah.
I'd personally rather some sort of port because single player experience to me is going to be more fun, I think, than what's speculated to be more of an MMO type thing based off of trademarkings. But that's just in general. I don't know. I thought I was going to enjoy VR MMOs a lot more than I do, but it turns out I just don't have the playtime at this stage in my life to put in like enough to really get the bang out of your buck in MMOs. Like MMOs are
I mean, if it's done good, then I don't care. I'll play either as long as it's done well.
like Zenith was good. I just don't go back all the time. You know what I mean? Like I thought VR MMOs was going to be one of my absolute favorite genres, but for some reason, it's just there's yet to be one that is like a top 3 game for me.
I don't even know what my favorite. Mine moves. That's what just like the economy moves. So does my favorite bar. I'll say.
And I don't mean that like Zenith's a bad one. Zenith has done the best that they can on the Quest. I mean, like they're doing a great
just
job.
use them as an example.
Yeah. Use them as an example because they're
not
the
using
top
it
one.
as a bad example. It's just an example.
Well, I use them because they're I'd say the top dogs too, in that field. It's just funny how my differences playing games in VR is from flat screen. Because flat screen, I loved MMOs, Star Wars Galaxies, Guild Wars, Star Wars The Old Republic. Put so many hours into those. And it's just yet to do it in VR. And I went in going open world RPGs and MMOs are going to be my favorite genres in VR. That was my perception. And it's just been the total opposite. It's funny how that goes, right?
I definitely like shooters more in VR than on Xbox, but
100%. I was never a flat screen shooter guy.
PC shooters was, I'll put that. Those are probably always my favorite.
Yeah, see,
like I play more PC shooters than I mean, you don't really have a choice in VR. There's a lot of them.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. But I never liked shooters flat screen. Never really got captured by them. It's not that I disliked them, but they were never my top. But I play a lot of them.
Simulation, all screen, VR screen, PC screen, or
agreed on that
Xbox
one.
Screen.
That one stayed consistent.
Board games I like more in VR than in real life.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, it's no fucking cleanup.
Mm-hmm.
I just wish some would give you the ability in the future where you can flip the board, have a fit or age.
I seem to like linear story-based games more in VR than I did flat screen. Flat screen, I tend to like the more open world, Skyrim approach. Whereas I don't.
Well, anything open world, I'll take.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just don't think in VR we have that much true open world to.
Yeah, there's been a couple ones, but for some reason they just don't.
A couple isn't. You know, compared to like how many can you get on your PlayStation?
Yeah, I know. I get what you're saying. But
no shortage.
It's funny though. Just to me, it's not a 1-to-1 in terms of preferences.
No.
What I enjoy flat screen and VR in terms of gaming are definitely different things.
Yeah, it doesn't always equate.
Mm-hmm.
I just hate that in VR I don't have like an absolute favorite. I might think I do, and then
I'm way too ADHD with it.
Let's say a really kick-ass puzzle game comes out or some shit, or escape room. Well, for right now, that's now my new favorite.
I was gonna say, especially in our position reviewing games, it's like, dude.
Well, actually, yeah. Even in my current situation, I have a new game that
Yeah, do you want to mention it or?
Yeah, I mean, if we're done with the showcase, if not, we'll wrap up the showcase.
Yeah, I mean, well, I can't think of anything else to talk about with it.
Yeah, I mean,
we could spend the whole episode on the showcase if we wanted to.
Well, yeah, you're just making shit up.
Yeah, it's all speculation, but there is a showcase
which just
coming
feels
June
weird
1st. Yeah.
It's really just a wish list for everybody of what they think, not what everyone might know.
And typically, what is speculated and what comes out it's never the same.
No, but what's
like
good is there is hype.
Stuff.
People are talking. I mean, shit, we're talking. Other people are talking. People
were itching. They were like, "Come on, man, where's the?"
We just want to know what is it going to be.
So, This will be good. I'm excited for June 1st. But yeah, we've been on a kick of Ghosts of Tabor recently.
Yeah, man.
We'll do a whole like early impressions review episode to it. Definitely.
Yeah. I need to spend more and more time. It's my favorite game right now. Boom. I'll take it over Pop One.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we have to revisit that.
And it is janky. So, I mean, I'll come out of the block going, look, there's some jank to it. And I'm just looking at it more from that shit's all going to get fixed. And it looks like there's a much bigger picture for this game than currently what's there. But holy Moses, dude. To me, it's like the closest thing we're getting to Rust.
Besides, being able to make permanent establishments or, build
and
stuff.
I'd love if they would make Rust for
You're just
VR.
talking about cruelty. You can be...
Dude, you can rob people. Like, you can roll up on... I mean, again, you said we'll talk about it another time, but in the full sense. But, like, you could legit rob somebody in this game. Take all their items.
I've seen videos of people getting robbed, but here's the thing. Like, I feel like it happened so casually that one of the first times we were playing it, we encountered a player and they just put their hands up and just gave us everything.
Tried to give us everything.
And ran away. I was like, oh, is this just a
we didn't kill
routine thing?
We came close.
No. And like I said, we'll do a whole review episode for it. It'll be an early impressions review because we have to be fair. This game is technically labeled early access, so it's hard to do like a...
Oh, yeah. That's why I forgive the jank. Because they make it clear when it loads in. But right now, I don't, even with the jank, it's like, I don't...
Oh, I can look past it.
Yeah, man. The potential is...
And it's funny because...
I got so many freaking questions right now.
It's so fun. And if any other game had frame rate drops when I load into an area like that, I'd be so less tolerant. But I'm so... Well,
again, it's full disclosure. This isn't sold as like a finished polished product. And if you can accept that, then you can currently take part in what is a freaking awesome game.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how quickly I go. All right, I'm loading in.
Dude, there's
30 seconds.
There's consequences all across the board when you play this game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got all the elements I love in a game. There's survival, there's missions, there's other accomplishments you can do. There's
consequences.
Fucking every time you play,
Funny
there's
moments.
a consequence. Yeah, dude, it's got... And then I'm just looking at it from where will this be 2 years down the road? And I'm like, get the hell out of here. This has so much freaking potential. This is just awesome fun.
Yeah. So without getting too much into it.
Don't play it alone, man.
And
I'll tell you right now.
A lot of people seem to.
Dude, everybody I run into in the wild,
that we think.
They're alone.
That we know of.
Well, I'm in my experience.
Unless we kill them and their friend runs.
Totally in my experience. I've yet to see two people, whether I've played with you or whether I play solo, I always see just NPCs and solo players.
What I'm saying is maybe there was the second guy and he saw his friend die and he was pretty far away and he said, nope.
Yeah.
Well, I'm out.
That's how the shit would go down.
Yeah.
It doesn't take much to get killed in this game.
No, we're 1-1 for killing each other by accident too.
Yeah. Oh, team kills could be totally real because it's a total everyone against everybody, technically.
Yeah.
But we played as a team. And I'm thinking we can get more people to play as a team.
Yeah,
just go in and tear up and
we'll steal some more people from our Discord and
loot and rob. Can't rob the NPCs.
No, we'll go fully into the whole game.
But Ghosts of Tabor, man, if you don't have it, get it now. Jump on the experience. So when we give it the early review or early impression, I'll say
that'll be a week or two.
You can already be you can be up there.
Yeah,
but for now, I'm going deep in this. I don't want to. I mean, of course, I'll have to play some other stuff, but this is one of those. I'm just don't care if we didn't. Are we due for 2 weeks off or something? Do a Ghost of Tabor vacation. But no, hats off to their team from what I've been playing so far. I'm loving the concept. I'm loving
the execution.
Oh my god, dude! And it's just once that jank is gone, hello. They just. I don't know. So for now, if you need me, you can find me in one of the many raidable servers
in Ghosts
of Tabor.
Yeah, you'll probably kill me. I'm not the best, but
don't care.
You'll have to kill both of us.
I'll keep playing.
So, there's also been, besides the MetaQuest Showcase announcing games on June 1st, there's also some good releases this past week, including Rogue Ascent VR, a hand tracking game, finger guns, pew, 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 pew. A really
I
good.
remember playing it
Yeah, we played it a while
a
ago
long time ago.
on App Lab. I remember that. And it's cool to see the amount of positive reception and hype it's gotten upon release.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely have to go revisit it now that the full experience is out. And we hadn't done a review of it, so it's a pretty ripe time.
Well, they deserve it because
It looks like it's improved a lot too.
I mean, they were smart because as we know, every time, the more people that use hand tracking, the more data that it's compiled, and then theoretically, every time there's a release or an update, your hand tracking is going to get better. So they've just, what I'm reading is pulled off one of the most best ways people have ever seen hand tracking in action with a Quest headset.
Well, I remember even when we played it back then, the hand tracking aspect was good.
No, the potential for good was there.
And it's a cool concept. You turn your hands into finger guns.
Yeah,
and it turns into a gun. Yeah,
our kids will have to do that now.
And it's a roguelite. It's cool potential. So that game came out.
I'm excited to give it another go around.
And then also Propagation Paradise Hotel came out. So
spooky. We got it.
Yeah.
So,
dude,
we've always talked about doing the horror one, and this is like the perfect one because I read some of the reviews, and some people are like, "Look, it's the perfect amount of like fear," because there's some that I guess are so scary you just will stop playing it.
Yeah, I'm kind of a wuss with these type of games, dude.
I don't care. We need to do one. I want to do one. Well, I want to be scared. I want to play a game that I'm like scared to freaking play. Like I have to psych myself up to and be like, all right, gonna do this.
Yeah, this one's based off.
Just gotta play it for 30 minutes.
Based off of some reviews, it sounds like it won't be the one that makes you, change your undies. But I've also seen some people say that. Well, they were spooked, like beyond spooked playing it. So I think it's a case by case.
The word adrenaline gets used a lot.
I'll play this when my girlfriend's home. I'm not going to play this one by myself home alone.
I'll only play this
11
on Friday
p.m.
the 13th and full moons.
11 p.m. I'm a wuss with these things in VR.
Yeah, this will be a great one.
With full immersion.
This is going to be good.
I have no shame in saying it. So yeah, this will be a good one. So
that's what makes it so great. It's like, it's not the niche that you go seeking out. But it's time. It's time to get scared.
So, between
get ready to get scared.
Between Rogue Ascent and Rogue Ascent and Propagation Hotel, that's two really good, well received releases. And then also there's
gonna be a spooky month.
There was also a sneaky one that snuck in with Car Detail Simulator, which is for niche ass interests like yourself. You love these little niche. Pointless simulators. If there is a job and you have a simulator game of it, you're going to be down for it. I know that without a doubt. Before I even show you the game.
Yep.
So car detailing sim, a lot of people might hear that and go,
why?
But I already know. I said it to you and you're like, I'll try it.
I'll try it, definitely. You had me sold at simulator. Whatever comes before it or after, I don't really care. I'll try it. Dude.
So remember Autopsy Simulator at PAX?
Oh, man. That's actually...
That wasn't VR, though, but that should have been VR.
That was PC only.
That should have been
and
VR.
I think it's still a year out. But when that comes out, because that game was just beautiful.
Yeah.
If my PC will run it, I'll definitely get it.
So yeah, nobody loves niche simulators more than you. And this one 100% it looks like what it sounds like. It looks like a car detailing sim. So that one kind of snuck in. It didn't have as great of a reception or like as talked about of a release and stuff as Propagation.
It's got good reviews.
That's the thing.
Good rating.
What I think Meta is getting really good with their store is they're checking niche boxes. For a while it seemed like that the games that they were bringing on were games that were going to be like, they were hoping were hits universally. It looks like that they're checking niche boxes now.
So you know how much I like simulators?
Yeah, I already know what you're going to bring up.
Because I think you tagged me in a post about airport ground handling simulator.
It was not a game.
It's not a game. This is actually...
It was on SideQuest. Well, it's on App Lab, but we found the listing on SideQuest.
It's a training thing.
Like a legit training. And they make it clear in the listing.
Oh, yeah. They don't hide from the fact that it's not a game, blah, blah, blah. But just fiending for simulation. I bought it.
Mm-hmm.
And I sent you a message. I'm like, dude,
Don't buy this.
Don't spend your money. I said, it is definitely not.
You're like, this is a professional.
This is like, you need to pass your ground simulator test. I mean, you have to fucking learn, dude. You have to take a test after each thing. But there's only like 3 things they teach you and don't get me twisted. I mean, it's an airport and you actually get to learn like, oh yeah, there'd be serious consequences. But one of my favorite things you get to do is they teach you all the signals for the dude with the lights and
the traffic handler guy, like the director. And
you have to guide the plane into its parking spot.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
You have to slow it down. And if you fuck with the thing and tell it to speed up, the pilot's going to speed up, you know? Of course you'll fail. But you can cut them off path. It's just cool to know, like, the combination of people. And there's people out in the distance holding the things up by their wings, too. Those people are critical in an airport. You have no idea. I mean, usually you see them and you're like, oh, that's cool. The dude's just letting him know, hey, I'm standing here. It's like, no, he's telling the pilot what to do. No clue about that.
So that's how much you
that
love.
was just a guide, you know, like, hey, here I am.
Yeah, that's how much you love these niche
Yeah.
simulators.
Wouldn't recommend buying it if you're looking.
But you even had some appreciation out of just that enterprise version, you know?
If you look at it in my list of games played, it's up there with the games being played. So, yeah, I'm not a tough sell for a simulator. It's really, I admit, it's like an addiction.
Well, it shows you the potential for like job training in VR.
I could pass one of those 3 exams.
You feel confident in real life?
1,000,000%. If you put me in the airport and said, okay, you know, what's
You're
the
just
checklist?
doing this one task.
Yeah,
that you did.
And they're very specific. They need like measuring tape. You need fire extinguisher. There's certain like safety items that have to be there. And then walking the plane path, I know what to be able to say shouldn't be there. Like if there's any stains on the ground, if there's any rocks or.
And do they try to trip you up and like throw that stuff in there, and then you have to notice that it's there, or no?
You have to notice it's there, but you can kind of cheat a little by being kind of in the area and moving your hand, and you'll see the thing light up. That, you know. There's a rock or a bolt.
Well, that would be good to do one time to teach yourself what to even look for.
Correct. So they're giving you examples. And I think in the 3 times I did that whole thing, I think they move around. Like the oil spill is going to be there somewhere, but you're going to have to note it. And one of the luggage train trolley things they use, sometimes they'll be in a marked area that it shouldn't, you know, or it might be running and it shouldn't be running. And I'm like, okay. But yeah, I never took any. I hope those dudes get paid good.
Oh, I think at most speculating.
It is because if you look at what baggage handlers make, they're not paid well.
Really?
Yeah.
I always thought.
Look at airport jobs sometime. It'll blow your mind what they're getting away with. So, you know, and it's sad because it's like knowing that
it's an essential job.
It's essential and critical, dude.
Well, that's what I meant. Critical. That was a better term for it.
Just being able to get your luggage from one room and then drive it over to an airplane and freaking load it up. And it's all got to be timed. It's like the airplane has to take off technically within. So it's like, it's sad to see that. And this, I mean, I don't know, maybe there's an airport in, you know, Louisiana, they get crushing it and pay. But if you look at airport jobs, it's usually pretty bad.
That's unfortunate.
Across the whole spectrum, dude. The pilot does well.
But so yeah, if you ever wonder who's playing niche simulator games,
it's me.
This guy.
It's me. So yeah, I'll detail your car.
Yeah, so you're definitely gonna pick that one up. So
bring your car to Tony's.
And
I'll get it all fancy for you.
And then not only with games released, then there's also games being announced for coming soon, like a game called X8. It's launching early access on May 18th on the Quest and PC VR to be technical. And it's a free-to-play.
I was going to say, that's the free one.
Yep, 5v5 shooter, which, man, the shooter, you know, multiplayer games are getting stretched thin, you know, with Population 1, Contractors, always popular. And then Breachers had a good, you know, it's getting a lot of attention.
Yeah, it's number 2.
Ghosts of Tabor also does steal those audience. You know, it's kind of like the same.
That's a player versus everyone.
Yeah, but I'd say that it's the same.
But it's not, you're not 5 versus 5.
Correct. That's fair to say.
Yeah,
too.
that I will defend fucking Ghosts of Tabor
But I was
till my last drop.
what I was gonna say is I think it's a lot of the same player
Well, the niche works in
playing-
PC.
playing all those games.
It's always worked. It
Oh.
worked with all the military games. It worked with Counter-Strike, and now VR is just capitalizing on.
And so I'm curious to see if the biggest struggle with multiplayer games is maintaining a player base.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping that we don't see a situation that we see too many people stolen away. I hope that there is enough to go around for all. Because free to play, this one looked pretty good.
Well, let's think about it. 5 versus 5 is
Mhm.
easier to get than, a lobby of 24
Mhm.
for every round. Yeah, what's Pop 1's total lobby? Is it 24?
No, it's 15, right? Or 18?
They've played with it numerous
Yeah.
times
They've
too.
gone up. I believe it's 18.
But I think the lower number of
We haven't
5
played
versus
Pop
5.
in like 2 months.
Nope.
I think
Has it
so.
been 2 months?
Maybe.
I thought we played it last month.
Might have been a month. I don't know, dude.
But we're in May, so it's like
That's what I'm saying. It could have
Yeah,
been in
it
February we
could've
played in
easily
it.
no. The last time we played, we won.
Yeah.
We jumped in and won. I think the time before that we
Mhm.
played it, we jumped in and won. I described this one as more of
It's a Breachers competitor. With being
yeah, but it's like
5v5.
Breachers meets Fortnite.
Mhm. Oh, it's definitely not as realistic. Not
No,
that
oh,
Breachers is.
God no. Well, no, but Breachers has got that real strategy
Yes.
element of real life.
This
where
one they were like spawning barriers, like
walls. And,
yeah.
but I don't know enough about it to talk intelligently. Like it looked complicated.
What was unfortunate is half the trailer was like cinematic, not real.
Cinematic video.
Yeah. And then the second half was all gameplay. I would have.
Yeah,
I
it's really tough to say. I mean, but
It's free to play.
that audience is freaking out there, man. And it's like you just look at Fortnite, they're still killing it.
I think this one's gonna be what's gonna be good. If you want my optimistic, I think Breachers is gonna remain hugely popular.
Mm-hmm.
And I think all that this game's going to do is take a lot of the little kid audience from Breachers to X8. Not that this game looks like a little kid game, but just being free to play, being a little bit more, like you said, Fortnite-y. I know that's not a really great example, but I get what you mean just on aesthetic and stuff like that.
It's an injustice to both games.
Yeah, I can kind of see what you're saying just on aesthetic.
Just from what I saw in the trailer footage.
I think that this is going to be the PG Breachers, and then we'll have the more mature competitive scene in Breachers.
I think Breachers is still, I mean, it's geared for esports.
Mm-hmm.
It's your perfect game that, like, if they didn't and you don't want to play it in esports, you don't have to, but
I think that's the
designed for esports.
Yeah, I don't think there's been a VR game I've played yet that has felt more designed for esports than Breachers.
Pop 1 could.
Yeah.
But
the benefit of Breachers is, like you said, just 5v5.
Yeah, you'd be able to make a career off of Breachers if you play your cards right.
Yeah.
No doubt. You got a good squad. And any 5 versus 5, when it's, I mean, even this one, it's like if it's done properly, you can esport the shit out of that.
Oh, yeah.
So hats off to them. I'll try it.
Yeah. Well, free to play, how can you not try it? No. I'll give them a lot of props for going the free to play route.
Well, that's because they must already have it in mind.
Yeah, I'm always skeptical of the sustainability and, profitability of free to play. Yeah, but there's been great examples where it works. I mean,
it's going to be on the official store. Correct?
No, it's going to be on App Lab and PC VR.
Okay, then I have less hope.
But let's see,
because the free to play model doesn't typically fly with.
You need. Remember when we talked
I'll
with
say
Marcus?
Typically, yeah. So it's like you have to be able to prove.
Yeah, big thing. When we just talked to Marcus Siegel, the CEO of 4VR, he said, you go free to play, you need reach. You need to get it in.
So they know something if they're ever going to go to the store.
Yeah, maybe it's one of those situations, and we've seen plenty of cases of this where it starts free to play on App Lab.
On the store, you're paying for it.
And then when it goes to the store, it's free. So it could end up being one of those situations.
When it goes on the store, it's not free.
Which I get, too.
Gorilla Tag pulled it off, though.
They stayed free.
You know why?
Why?
Because there's no other game that has the audience they do.
Well, what's interesting about
Gorilla
Tag,
not store.
To be technical, Gorilla Tag and Population 1, while free on Quest, are still paid on PC VR. You have to pay for it on Steam. Gorilla Tag.
I wonder why that really is.
Yeah, they say it's for the reason if they ban you and it's free to play on Steam, it's too easy to just make an account, a new account and going, where at least if you have to pay $20, it lessens the chance of somebody being
kids today, man.
I know.
I care about my Steam ID.
I know.
I would hate to lose my Steam ID.
Yeah. Do you think the type of person getting banned for hacking does, though?
The award they give you for how many years you have Steam is as old as they've been giving the awards, not as long as I've had Steam. So and I've had Steam longer than the damn award they give you for having it.
And I'll also say,
I don't lose that.
I won't 100% agree that that's the true reason, but that's at least been the reason presented by the developers, you know?
Well, I get it, because people get caught.
Logic in it.
People get caught on all the games that you can hack on Steam when they're using the enforcement methods, and people will still do it. And then you lose your damn account. So why not? It's a cash cow.
But
we'll let you screw off, but it's going to cost you $20.
Got a few more things to talk about, but before I forget, do you want to take a moment? We'll get an advertising break, and we'll come back and we'll wrap up the rest of it.
Sure.
All right, because it's easy to get carried away. We keep rolling into it, and all of a sudden I go, oh damn, never took the ad break. And also, like always, before each ad break, I like to give a weekly on-air shout out to our Patreon supporters on the on-air shout out tier. Of course, we have some other tiers as well, including a just supporting tier, a tier that gives you your name across the bottom of the screen on video on a rolling ticker. So a couple different tiers to choose from, and right now they're all including access to our exclusive Patreon channel in our Discord. But like I always say each week too, our Discord's not just for Patreon. Anybody can go join it. We just have a bonus little chat room in there for our Patreon peeps. And our Discord, man, it's a party. I know you were joking the other week, you got stock in Discord or something, but no, man, our Discord,
I wonder.
our Discord community, really, really, really cool place,
they're all good peeps.
Yeah, it's just cool VR talk, cool game meetups, cool just general life stuff. One of my favorite channels is like the food channel, or then the pets channel. People post pictures of their cute pets.
General chat's my favorite.
Oh, Gen Chat's always my favorite, but I am terrible sometimes in the sense of I'm biased towards Gen Chat, so sometimes I maybe post things that should go in off topic or whatever, but it's Gen Chat,
I post wherever I want. No one's gonna kick me out.
Yeah.
Can I get kicked out? I mean, I'm sure my mouth could get me kicked out, but
right, we just troll to the point of a mutiny.
Oh, it could easily happen. Given so much access to the people that are actually running the show, that they'd just be like, you know what? Nobody will ever hear that. There's probably a channel we don't even know there's a channel for.
Well, we got a really cool mod team that definitely helps out a lot. Shoes, Amelia, King Canuck. Definitely they help a lot. Just setting up channels and
it's to me
giveaways, and
if you want to talk all fancy about ecosystems and all that,
it's actually self-sustaining.
Yeah, because you see how it actually works, and how as it grows, other people will be having roles as well, and it's pretty cool. So it's its own ecosystem, man.
Well, and it snowballs because every new person that goes in and is consistent engager, it makes it more likely and appealing to somebody else, and so it's been snowballing, definitely.
Yeah, it's a cool place.
And besides just great VR chat, great chats in general,
I think I'm the oldest one in our Discord.
We could confirm. We should do
I don't know if there's anyone older right now.
You're 52, so
yeah.
Let's see. Putting it out there. If anybody's older, if we got an older listener, they can go join our Discord right now.
There's old people in there.
So you can go find the link to our Discord in our show notes. That's the episode description. You can also find the link to our Patreon there. But I got to plug also in our Discord, whether you're Patreon or not, we do giveaways as well for game keys every week. So
free stuff.
I mean, come on. That's
we had Discord members give away stuff.
Yeah.
For the sake of just giving it away.
Paying it forward.
That's beyond cool. That really blew my mind.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, that's definitely cool.
So go visit the show notes, the episode description. Go join our Discord. Go check out our Patreon. Help us go full time. Go become a supporter. YouTube. And yes, also go subscribe on YouTube. We always forget to, or at least I forget to mention that, yes, we are on YouTube as well. And for our Patreon supporters on the on-air shout-out tier. And again, we have other Patreons as well, just on the just supporting tier. And if you ever want us to, you want to support with the on-air shout-out, but you don't want us to say your name, just give us another name to say. We can
Make one up.
Yeah, we could say your animal, whatever. But our supporters, we got Shoes, we got Jake, we got Amelia, and we got Crispy. So thank you all. And like I said, if you haven't joined the Discord yet, you haven't joined the Patreon, go do that while the ad read plays, and we'll be back with you in just a moment. This podcast is brought to you by Kiwi Design, the leader in MetaQuest and VR accessories. And now you can deck out your device while supporting the podcast. The MetaQuest 2 is a great headset, but do you ever feel things could be a bit more comfortable? Well, we have the solution for you. With lens protectors, controller grips, face covers, head straps, link cables, headset stands, and more, including my two personal favorites, the top version controller grips with added weight and an extended handle, and the Kiwi upgraded Elite strap. Let's be real, we've all whacked our controller. Don't be the guy messaging Oculus support for your own mistake or waiting weeks for an out-of-stock controller. Visit the link in our show notes to prepare yourself today. After visiting the link in our show notes, make sure to use the promo code RuffTalkVR at checkout, all one word, to take full advantage of your savings. And make sure to click the link in our show notes so the podcast gets credit and you help support us. Remember, whatever you need, Kiwi has you covered.
This episode of Ruff Talk VR is sponsored by BetterHelp. Virtual reality gaming is amazing, but let's not forget to take care of our mental health in the real world too. BetterHelp is the world's largest online counseling platform, offering professional, affordable, and convenient therapy. Their licensed therapists specialize in everything from depression and anxiety to relationship issues and stress management. So, if you've been struggling to balance your love for MetaQuest VR gaming with life's challenges, BetterHelp is here to support you. They'll match you with the perfect counselor, tailored to your specific needs. And with the convenience of video, phone, or even live chat sessions, you can get the help you need from the comfort of your own home. As a Ruff Talk VR listener, you get a special offer of 10% off your first month of BetterHelp. Just visit betterhelp.com/RuffTalkVR. That's betterhelp.com/RuffTalkVR and start taking charge of your mental health today. Hey everyone, sorry for the interruption, but we have a special public service announcement. Manscaped now has beard products and now a brand new nose and ear hair trimmer. If you haven't already heard, the leaders in below-the-waist grooming are traveling north of your South Pole with their revolutionary Beard Hedger Pro Kit. Plus, they've now launched the brand new Weed Whacker 2.0, which confirms they have all of your best tools for your hygiene toolbox. Time for you to upgrade your toolbox by going to manscaped.com and using our code RuffTalkVR for 20% off plus free shipping. Gentlemen, meet the Beard Hedger Pro Kit. It is the ultimate package that makes it easier than ever to craft your signature look. It all starts with the Beard Hedger. This thing is an elite beard trimmer. The Beard Hedger is tough on hair but smooth on your face, leading to single stroke efficiency that brings satisfaction one stroke at a time. This waterproof cordless trimmer has a rotary wheel that gives you 20 hair cutting lengths, all with one guard. So no more messy drawers full of extra add-ons. The Pro Kit also comes with 4 dermatologist-tested formulations for your post-trim care. This includes Manscaped's beard shampoo and conditioner, beard oil, and beard balm to moisturize, style, and shimmer your new beard. Plus, the kit has 3 free gifts: a beard brush, a comb, and scissors. With a nice beard, you think your face is perfectly groomed, right? Wrong. You need to keep an eye out for those tough-to-trim ear and nose hairs. The brand new Weed Whacker 2.0 offers improved blades and skin-safe technology with a no-tugging guarantee. It's never been so painless to mine your manholes. Now that you have your face looking great, you must try Manscaped's Performance Package 4.0 for the full body grooming experience. Good news though, the Performance Package 4.0 now comes with the Weed Whacker 2.0 and all of the other below-the-waist grooming products Manscaped is known for. Your significant other will be delighted to see you covering all bases, if you know what I mean. So get 20% off and free shipping with our code RuffTalkVR at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use the code RuffTalkVR. Always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped.
So the Quest Gaming Showcase is coming June 1st, but even before then, even just this past week, there's been a lot of release dates or games announced in general. I mean, a game that we've been anticipating for quite a bit, We Are One, which is very much like the last Clockwinder, it seems. Where
I don't know. It's a time loop.
Yeah, it's like you make the clones, but it seems
Time
much more
loop shooter.
Yeah, I was going to say much more combat based with shooting elements and things like that, but it's published by Fast Travel Games, and it's gotten a release date of also June 1st, the same day as the MetaQuest showcase,
Go figure.
which makes me think we're
Think
gonna.
they planned that?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, no, Fast Travel knows what the hell they're doing.
Yep. So we are
Stay out
one.
of their way. They
I'm-
travel fast.
So hey, even if the showcase is a bust, at least I'm getting We Are One. I've been
Yeah, and
excited for
I'm
this
confident something's going to drop after the day after. So I'm
Yeah.
not saying GTA. I'm just saying something.
one. Yeah, and this is one of those examples. It's not made by Fast Travel, but we mentioned Fast Travel because they're the publisher, and my goodness, have they been on fire in 2023?
Fire.
Do you think that they have anything unannounced that's going to be suddenly surprise showed at the showcase? I imagine it's freaking Fast Travel.
Do they need to?
Probably not, but I imagine they will.
I think there's, just like Walkabout. Does Walkabout need
no, but
a freaking
Walkabout doesn't put
showcase?
out other games. They just put out other DLCs.
other DLCs?
But I wouldn't be surprised if we see something from Resolution, something from Vertigo, something from Shell, something from Fast Travel.
Shall I expect we're
Some-
going to see some footage from
I expect you to die 3.
3? Yeah. Maybe even a music score. But I do anticipate something from Shell.
Mm-hmm.
Resolution, I'm on the fence of.
Mm-hmm.
Vertigo, I'd say most likely, definitely. But again, who knows?
Yeah. Again, back to just speculating. Yeah,
It's
we went.
like,
That's how we ended that conversation before.
Resolution could,
Mm-hmm.
drop 4 bombs all at once.
But hey,
Who knows?
We Are One, June 1st.
I'm
you know.
very excited for that one.
Me as well. And then also there was a game announced that it's in the works to come out.
Scary language, but okay.
It's a port. It's called Operation Wolf Returns, First Mission VR, which then I went, well, what the hell is Operation Wolf? I Google it, and it's an arcade game that came out in 1987. And you were like, oh, I remember that one.
Yeah, I was 17.
So it looks like since then it spawned a whole franchise. To be honest with you, full disclosure, I seem to have missed, or at least that I remember. Maybe I played Operation, Wolf, and I don't remember it. It's possible, but yeah, I definitely don't remember it at all. But it looks like we're getting a VR port of it, and
Could be fun.
well, VR bullet hell games typically are a lot of fun. I'd
Could
say.
be fun.
So we'll see. This is one of those. Anytime that
Porting
there's-
over the 80s shit isn't always a good idea.
well, if it's a bullet hell game,
Mm-hmm.
I love those co-op and multiplayer. You just shoot them up, shoot everything.
They did have a few, just like the same arcade machine they used for that one, with like the
with the stationary Uzi.
stationary Uzi sitting there. They had them for 2 players too.
Yeah,
The double, yeah.
and
they also had shotgun ones for zombies and stuff.
and just bullet hell games in general. You look at like Mother Gunship Forge, which is a roguelike as well, but it's definitely bullet hell. And then I remember that there was this game I used to love on Xbox Arcade. It was like on the 360, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I bought it on their online store. I don't know if it was sold on disc as well. That's where I found it. And it was called Shoot Many Robots. And it was so freaking fun. It was just a bullet hell game, but I would never play it single player, but with a friend.
I think
was-
Mother Gunship Forge has done the best job.
With bullet hell.
Yep.
Yeah.
For VR that I've personally played.
So if this game seems to go that bullet hell direction that the original arcades did, I think I'll love it if it's co-op,
No, I don't think it's going to be co-op.
You don't think so?
No.
No.
But I don't know.
But
They might have even said it.
Yeah.
I was just going on what I saw, not what I read. That's unfortunate with that. And the only reason is because they don't have a video.
So yeah, pulling it up here, it says unfortunately in its solo VR campaign.
Yep.
So me speculating co-op.
Co-op.
Yeah, unfortunate, but
There were other games though that were with that same style,
yeah.
but they were definitely co-op.
Whoa.
What do we got?
We got features. Listen to this.
Yeah.
This is why we always read
Okay.
everything.
Go for it.
This doesn't make sense because it says a solo VR campaign, but then it goes features. Remake of the iconic action game released in 1987.
Mm-hmm.
New artistic direction.
Meaning, yeah, better, not 80s graphics.
Yeah.
God bless you.
Addition of voices in a parody style. A gameplay with endless action. And a campaign playable in solo or duo. Interesting.
Fair enough.
Fall 2023.
Okay.
Let's see.
Oof, that's out there.
And it's going to be one of these situations. Number of players 1 to 2.
Okay.
So if we can play this
So
2-player,
the game is single player, but yet you can do
it sounds like designed for single player. But
the
playable
original
with 2.
the original game or the bulk of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I get it.
And then there's a survival mode, which is waves of enemies.
As opposed to,
well, I imagine a campaign is clear the level.
Yeah.
Where survival to me is get that
playing.
high score. Arsenal of various weaponry, and it's one of these. So it's going to come out June 20th. What? Why are they going to say fall 2023? Oh, okay. Their press release is a little messy, but the June 22nd, 2023 release is going to be the VR edition,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's coming hard copy and digital editions on other consoles in fall of 2023. So the VR is coming out this summer, and then the other console editions are coming out in fall. Because
it's awesome to see the VR version come out first
yeah.
and get ported over to flat screen.
That's
instead
crazy.
Of vice versa. So no, either way, that's a pretty good victory. But I don't know.
It's going to be on
I don't know
PS4,
how much I'm
PS5,
gonna like
Switch.
this. I don't know if I'm gonna like it. Say it low. I haven't played it, and I'm hoping to be wrong. But it's like,
Well, what did I say at the start? Single player? It's probably going to be a no for me, dog. But
I don't know.
2-player?
Single or two. Still don't know how much I'm gonna like it.
2-player, I think I'll get into it.
I've got nothing to go by.
Let's see. We'll find out June 22nd, right?
Other than bullets are gonna be flying at me.
And then a game that I couldn't find a release date for besides the fact that it was announced that it's coming out for the Quest 2.
Mm-hmm.
And it was announced back in November for the PSVR 2. But now it's announced that it's also coming out for the Quest 2 specifically, obviously. And it's Hello Neighbor Search and Rescue, which as soon as you saw the article, it's published by Tiny Build, which we noticed.
You get that whole library. If you pull that library up while we're talking, of Tiny Build's games, they're all coming to VR, in my opinion.
That's what we had said.
Or 90% of them.
Anyone that would work for VR is probably going to come to VR.
Yeah, dude. This is the second game that they brought into VR that I own on the Xbox.
Mm-hmm. Kill It With Fire was the first one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And this one,
and this is their third
totally
VR port.
Going to work in VR. This one's going to be so much better in VR than it ever would be on the flat screen.
Yeah, this is like their third VR port within like 4 months.
Yeah, under a year.
I literally think they're doing that. They're going check, check. What's the next one? Check. And yeah, you saw this and you went, "Oh, this one's gonna work great in VR."
No,
so
there were some others on the list that I'm just saying I don't know if they're really gonna bring them all over, but there were some really good ones that I'm hoping and praying come over.
Yeah, I haven't played this one yet, but
it's creepy.
Yeah,
well, you're
like
a creep. You're like a creepy
creeper?
guy.
Yeah,
you're a creeper.
And you're like stealth into other people's homes.
Yeah,
and it says you can change your character in the game to like aid.
It's weird because the way it's not first person, if I remember correctly, when you're playing it on flat screen. So it's going to be weird to see how they did it. And it's going to be a lot more suspenseful.
If it's first person?
Well, how else are you going to do it? I don't think they can get away doing it any other way.
Well, this will
be in VR. So it's going to be weird. I'm just wondering how you're going to know when to get the hell out of someone's house and stuff. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, but I'm
excited.
Even before the showcase happening, this Operation Wolf game, Hello Neighbor announced. Who knows what else is going to be released or announced between now and the showcase itself even coming out. I'm excited for this port, especially with Tiny Build seemingly just checking
here's
boxes.
The thing with the showcase. I'm pretty sure that's already been written and it's in an envelope waiting to be read. And
yeah,
I don't necessarily know one's ability to get added to anything on that showcase at this point. So
100%.
Somebody needs to find that envelope.
So
I wouldn't be upset of a leak.
Oh, I would. I'd rather just wait till the actual showcase.
I'll know tomorrow. Someone want to send me an email and go, "Here's a copy." I'll NDA it.
Yeah, that's a great
You're
example.
not ruining it for me.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd say that's a great example for
not in the least bit.
Showcases and stuff. I don't know. Takes away the fun of it. I'd rather just see that day. Personally, that's me with those type of things.
I respect that, but if someone wants to tip me off, I will not say a word.
So,
I'll still watch the showcase.
In other news, so Zenith, The Last City, you know, a game that I mentioned earlier of like, oh, I haven't been able to get in, but they do a great job being an in-depth MMO.
Mm-hmm.
They've added housing, they've added pets, they've added a bunch of stuff. And now they're adding, on May 11th, PvP. So that seems like something that,
Like the only thing missing.
yeah, probably should have been in an MMO.
Well, no, dude, because I can't knock them. They got a good product.
Mm-hmm. Well, they've continued to grow on it. They've continued to...
People love it, and it keeps getting better. So it's like you got to give them some, and it's pretty big, if I remember correctly.
Oh, yeah. And it's continued to grow.
Huge.
They've added some end game content. And, man, I just saw somebody on Reddit complaining about the game.
What?
Saying that, like...
Too small?
No, they banned him or something. And he's like, it's a shit game. I've spent, I have spent 80 hours in it, but it's only because there's no other. And it's like, dude, you spend 80 hours in a game and you have the nerve to say it's bad. I think he even said he requested Meta for a refund on it because he was banned. And it's like, dude, 80,
What is he, 10?
80 hours and you're going to request a refund?
Yeah, it's not an adult.
Dude, it's child. And
Yeah,
anybody, I love seeing the Steam reviews. Because Steam will show you how long somebody played.
Mm-hmm.
When they review it, I think that's a feature Meta should add.
Absolutely. It's a difference. It says, I've seen it,
Time played.
12 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And somebody
Like, so you watch the loading screen, didn't even do the tutorial, and you're bitching.
But my favorite is people who you'll see played 80 hours, and they'll be like, this game sucks. It's like, dude.
Well, in fairness.
You played 80 hours on it.
There have been games that came out of the block good.
Mm-hmm.
And upgraded to shit.
Well, yes, but those aren't the cases in the review I'm seeing. Yeah,
I get that.
If it's a case that somebody made their game buggy and now it's no longer playable, that's different. But that's not the cases I see in a lot of the reviews. I'll see insane play times with low ratings. It's like, what? So yeah, I wish Meta would bring that feature over. That's one of my favorite things that Steam has.
It would be interesting, but I'm going to defend them not because it's hard enough to get people to rate the games anyways. Good, bad, or indifferent.
And then if you knew that was visible,
yeah,
it's going to make it more.
It's going to be less people who would rate it, who are like, nope, I don't want anybody to know I only played it for 30 seconds.
So yeah, We Are One, Operation Wolf, Hello Neighbor, all announced or given release dates in the last week. Same with actually X8 as well. And then also Crime and Mercenary Tales, a game that we saw announced maybe about a month ago. We had talked about it on Monday Morning News. It's officially gotten a release date for May 25th. And the second trailer...
not too far away.
No, right around the block. And the last trailer that they put out, I'd say, is better than their first one in the sense that the gameplay looked really fun and silly. There's even like comic book like POW or something that popped up when you sliced them. I don't know. I remember the first trailer we saw with it being a little bit like, I don't fully get the concept, but the second one, I'm like, oh my God, I actually kind of want to play this. It looks pretty fun. So May 25th, that one's coming out. So yeah, no, it was cool to see this one get an official release date.
And it looks definitely better than the first time we saw the preview.
Yeah, and I think it was because it was more straight to the point. I remember the first one was trying to like show more aesthetics and was doing like,
nothing probably changed. It was probably the same exact video.
Oh my God, you know what's funny? I would have zero shock. Sometimes I'm shocked like that. But nonetheless, so Crime and Mercenary Tales coming out May 25th. Can't wait for that one. And then one last little piece of news. A game that we've played a bunch, but we've yet to pump out a review. And some days I itch about it. It bothers me that we've yet to record a review on this one because it's so good. Into the Radius. That game has so much replayability, so in depth, crazy gun mechanics. You clean your guns. It's pretty hard too when you first get into it, but it's a great game. And they announced that they're doing more updates with post-game content and adding mod compatibility to it, or like mod tools to it, or the ability to mod. I'll say I don't know the extent of. I don't want to say mod tools because sometimes that creates like a visual image of like
map creation, and everything else. Yeah,
but they'll support mods is how it sounds. But they also announced that a sequel to the game is in the kind of pre-development stage where they're just planning it. They're not saying it's coming out anytime soon, but there's plans and it's started in pre-production, a sequel to Into the Radius.
So by the time we review it, the sequel will have come out.
Well, hey, that's what happened with Red Matter, right?
Yeah.
So maybe that'll
Yeah, it was on that weird cusp of, well, they're coming out with the second one, so
there's been a
now
couple
it's time
cases
to actually
of that.
do that first one.
Yeah, sometimes
It's a good excuse.
we got to get caught up.
And then I play it, and I'm like, why the hell did we wait a year to freaking play this?
Oh, well,
When the whole world is saying something's great, it's great.
At least this is one that I already know is good.
Yeah.
This is one, the aesthetic of it reminded me, well, to be fair, since it came out first, it should be the other way around, but the aesthetic gave like vibes similar to the Light Brigade in terms of just being out there and everything's foggy and just.
Yeah, I haven't played it in a long time.
Yeah, it has been a while since we played this one.
Yeah. And I know they've changed a few things with it since the last time I played it for sure. So I'm curious.
Updates, 2 more updates coming. Announced in terms of the mods
and a new game.
And a new game in pre-production.
Yeah, it's not normal. You don't usually hear that.
Yeah, the developers are beasts. And this was a game that was really popular PC VR, and the fact that they were able to port it successfully and as high quality to the Quest as they did, that it's talented developers. So
yeah,
I'm excited for whatever comes next for them.
If you made one VR game and are now making a second, you did something right. Because some people make one and that's it.
To be honest, too, it was one of those games that people were saying, even though, they did scale down things to get it to work on the Quest, this is one of those that, much like Blade and Sorcery, before they announced that it was coming to the Quest, you would have heard people say,
Can't be done.
I don't think it'll be done properly. Even when they announced it, people were saying like, yeah, let's see the actual execution. And the execution has been phenomenal.
Yeah, dude, it's a great, I don't think they're not crushing it. Blade and Sorcery, yeah, definitely.
Oh, well, you know what? Before we wrap this baby up, if you want to hold the mic for a minute, I do think that we should do this every week, is to view the top 10 top selling and the top 10 rated. So the top 10 top selling for this week, maybe we'll start to do this at the start of the episodes too. In the order that they appear, which I imagine that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we got Blade and Sorcery on the top spot, which I think this is one of the first times I've seen it number 1. I feel like usually Beat Saber's number 1. So huge props to them. So Blade and Sorcery is the top spot. Then we got Breachers for top selling. Then we got Beat Saber, Among Us, Job Simulator, Bone Lab, Creed, Star Wars Pinball, Thrill the Fight, Kill It With Fire, and Eye of the Temple.
It's the Eye of the Temple gonna break my control.
And to be fair, since I can't count properly and they don't list it with numbers, I listed 11 of them. Eye of the Temple was number 11. But that kind of deserves a shout out too. That game just came out and it's already on the top selling list. So
people buying it. I'm really shocked people are buying Star Wars Pinball as much as they are.
Well, here's the thing. May 4th was last week with Star Wars Day, and Meta
You think it spiked that big that
we'll see if this is still on the top 10.
Top 10.
We'll see if it's still there next week.
I'll have to see what happens when
this is why
one of the other studios runs a game promotion on their game and see if it pops in there.
That's why I think it'll be fun if we start to do this every week, because we can start to actually notice trends and which ones actually are consistent. Like Thrill the Fight, I see there all the time. Same with Creed. Same with Bone Lab, Job Simulator, Among Us, Beat Saber.
Beat Saber's never not there.
Breachers, the fact that it's number 2 is really impressive to me.
That makes sense, though.
Yeah, what's cool is that means the community isn't dying. So that's top selling. And then top 10 most popular. Number 1, Gorilla Tag. Then Beat Saber. Then Rec Room. Then VR Chat. Then Blade and Sorcery. Then Population 1. Job Sim. Bone Lab. Epic Roller Coasters. And then Gun Raiders. Interesting list.
Yeah, I'd love to get a hold of what data they acquire for that one.
Well, even for top selling, does it go by units or total amount? Total dollar sign.
Epic Roller Coaster, free game, whatever.
Most of those are free games too. If you look at it, Rec Room, Gorilla Tag, Epic Roller Coaster,
VR Chat.
Did I already say Rec Room? Population 1.
Yeah, you said it one time too many.
So
I should say 2 times too many.
Let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Half of those are free.
Mm-hmm.
Dude. And right underneath it,
But that's on the most popular.
yeah, not top selling, not most revenue generating. And it's interesting to see the difference in the list too. There's really the only two that stay in both of those lists.
How's VR chat? Is VR chat on the top selling?
No,
Okay.
just most popular.
Okay. Just making sure.
And it's interesting that the only two that are on both most popular and top selling are actually the only three is Bone Lab, Blade and Sorcery, and Beat Saber.
Beat Saber. Beat Saber does better in played than popularity.
Mm-hmm. So I agree with you. It'd be interesting to know what metric they use for most popular. Is it
Yeah.
the amount of different devices opening it, or can one device count a bunch of times if it opens up the app a bunch of times that week? Are they just counting the most total times the app's opened by all device? You know what I'm saying?
Or is it just some guy named Charlie
who's making a
spits out
list?
the list every week
Right.
and goes, well, Star Wars would make sense this week.
Mm-hmm. And this was kind of a spontaneous decide to do thing. So as you can tell, we didn't have the games pre-written down or anything like that of the top 10. But I think that'll be a cool little thing to start the show with on Mondays. Go over what the top 10 or at some point in the episode, top 10 selling and most popular.
Cool.
So do you see anything else for the week
Nah.
that you want to add?
Nah. I'm good.
All right. So, like I always say, if you enjoy the episode, subscribe, rate us 5 stars, and then stay tuned for a couple interviews dropping this week.